So Jules, where did you see yourself a year on after release from prison?
At the start, I actually couldn't see myself being released.
Wow.
I almost thought like it was never going to happen. I felt like it would be positive, but I just couldn't see it. But then at the end, I got my PT qualification. When I was doing that qualification, I saw myself being a PT.
Love that.
Not this.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome back to Life After Prison with Zak and Jules. And today's episode is all about judgment and the stigma that you face around prison. So we're going to kick off the show with a question that we asked you guys, and that was, how long do you wait before telling someone that you're dating that you've been to prison?
Mm-hmm.
And we had a lot of interaction on this one.
Yeah, we asked this on our Instagram, right?
Yeah. And 40% of you said straight away, 37% said in the first few weeks, 17% said before we're exclusive, and 6% said as long as possible. Which I thought was actually going to be the highest. The highest one, like, as long as possible.
Nah. No, not for me.
I'm shocked that 40%, the highest amount of people, said straight away.
I'm not with them. Sorry,
hi, I'm Jules.
not
Nice
with
to meet you. I've been to prison.
Yeah, hi,
No,
I'm
joking.
Zak. I've been in jail 3 times. We say that's not me. I'm definitely not in the. Big up the. Listen, for all the people in the 40%.
Yeah.
Big up yourself on being brave and courageous, but I'm not with you.
But we had a lot of DMs as well explaining like why they choose this and what. So it's not really just black and white. It's not,
there's context to it. There's nuances.
Yeah, there definitely is. But
what category do you fall in?
So what did I say? I said so obviously if people already know that I do the podcast, etc., then straight away I'm not gonna lie. No, I didn't. But yeah, I okay, not straight away. In the first few weeks, I'd like to think that I'm speaking to somebody. If I'm getting to know somebody quickly, then it's gonna come up. Okay. So maybe in the first few weeks / months, that kind of category. Okay. We didn't put that one in there though.
Yeah, all right. I'm more before the exclusive bit, but not like just before. Okay, we're gonna be not like okay, okay. Well, I got something to tell you before. Buy you a ring. Before then, right? Yeah, no, it's like
just because I don't want you to throw it back at me.
Yeah, basically. But I just give a long enough time to get to know me first.
Yeah.
Then I'll be like, yeah. But if they know, then you already know, innit?
Yeah.
But just because we're presenting this podcast doesn't mean we've gone to prison. You know what I'm saying? Necessarily, right?
Oh, are you? Wait.
I'm just saying that. Like, for example, if someone knows you does do the podcast.
True.
Doesn't
But then if somebody's saying, oh, you do a podcast, and then you explain it, you're not.
What's it about?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't know. If you're explaining why you do the podcast, then I guess that should be brought up because you care. You can relate to what you're doing.
Yeah. Fair enough. But it's not a guarantee,
It's not a guarantee. And people have said that as well.
Yeah, for real.
Anyway, should we get into some of these DMs?
So we also got some DMs from you guys just to like kind of break down your thoughts and feelings towards this, because, you know, sometimes just clicking a response doesn't do it justice for yourself. So Chloe messaged us and she said, it depends on what it was for, of course, like, and if it still restricts your life somehow. There's lots of things you don't necessarily need to instantly mention, and people are so quick to judge out there. So there's many reasons that anyone can end up in prison. And if you're older now and you're dating and it was in your youth, for example, like you were in prison, is it like necessary to reveal it? You know, because it's not who you are now and what you do now.
I think that's also, you know, you don't really get to know, like, say it is a long time ago. You don't really get to know people and be like, so in my childhood or back in the day.
Back in the days, right?
Like, it isn't as relevant, is it?
No.
But obviously if it is still really, you think about it a lot more. And I remember speaking to some of the girls inside about like, would you tell people? When would you tell people? We had these discussions and some of the girls were like, I'm not saying it. I'm never saying it. And I was thinking in my head, I can't see myself never, like, I'm just like that though. Like, I feel like.
You got to say it.
Well, not I got to say it, but I like to be open and I like to talk about things as well. So
hear you.
I was thinking, what would I do? And I was thinking, yeah, maybe I shouldn't say anything. Because it's true. People judge just like,
They do.
just like, who read that out?
Chloe, that was from
just
Chloe.
like Chloe said. Yeah, people judge.
People do. But at the same time, if you're going to judge me, keep it moving then.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Nobody's perfect out here.
Yeah, it's really interesting because I think it's one thing that we have to think about, but like not really told how to deal with.
It's happened to me before. I've been like, I went to jail and just...
Bye.
Bye. See you later.
So we had one from Paul and you said, it depends really. If you're a lifer like myself or on license, then almost straight away. However, it all depends on how relevant it is and how long ago. I have been out 10 years now and I always go with the fact that date number 1 or 2 is the perfect time. Then the other person can make their own decision if they want to get involved.
Okay, you know what, Paul? You're a good geezer. Big up yourself, Paul. Thanks for sending that in and sharing that. What about if there's no date? What about if you're just chatting? Like it's online
text
thing.
1 or 2.
Text 1 or 2.
WhatsApp.
Oh yeah, WhatsApp me. And then, oh, by the way, I've been to prison.
Yeah.
You're getting blocked.
Do you think it
instantly.
matters? Also, he mentioned obviously he's a lifer.
Yeah.
And he's been out 10 years now, but you know, he's done a life sentence. Do you think that comes into play? Do you think people care more if people have done a life sentence or a shorter sentence?
I think
Do you
definitely.
know what I mean? Do you feel like you need to explain yourself more?
Unfortunately, your offence matters. The circumstances, I think, for some people. Because some people are going to be like that. Some people have asked me,
okay,
did you go in jail for this? Did you go in jail for that? And they're like, oh, no, okay. That's okay. Do you get what I'm saying? So it kind of, I think that matters for some people. But what matters most, I think, personally, is the person you are now. So the person you are now overrides that.
Of course. I'm just wondering why, you know, I'm just wondering from Paul if that was significant to him.
Yeah.
The fact that he's a lifer, he might feel like he needs to...
Life license. He might not be able to travel.
Right.
So imagine like you're with your partner, you ain't told them nothing.
Because I was thinking even shorter sentences, like,
You're
you know,
licensed.
they're still not spent.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering what might matter
Say,
more. But,
for example, we were meant to go on book a holiday and then now you're like, oh... I'm not allowed to fly out. So.
But are you never allowed to fly out?
No. If you're on license, imagine you're on license and you ain't told the person you're with.
But how long you got to do license?
Say you're on a 4-year license and you're in year 2 of your license.
Yeah.
And you're not allowed to fly out when your partner wants to fly out and you ain't told them you've been to prison.
I think I also liked, you know, you just make the decision on what you want to do and then it's up to the other person. What they want to do. It doesn't...
Facts.
It's not going to affect.
If it's date 1 or 2, you're not really invested heavily,
and also,
right?
if they don't want to be with you, they don't want to be with you.
Yeah.
No matter what.
The right person will come along.
Anyway, we actually loved these DMs explaining it a little bit further because we know that sometimes with a poll, it looks black and white and it's not.
It's not.
So keep them coming and keep explaining why you would pick a certain percentage. What is it?
A certain answer.
A certain answer. We're loving them.
Yeah. So, Julesy, I wanted to ask you then.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt the stigma or embarrassed about being in prison?
Yeah.
Okay, talk to me.
So I think it's tough. I'm not just like embarrassed about it all, but I think every time I go to explain it or say it, I do have slight embarrassment because I think it's, I don't know, because I'll never be a man. Okay. But
as in how we see
as
it.
a female,
okay, cool.
I think society does see females in a certain way.
Yeah,
so we should behave like this or we should act like this. And going to prison, like full stop, just doesn't really fit that womanly
I get you what you mean. The stereotypical view.
Yeah, the stereotypical view of, and this obviously isn't everybody, but I think it's something that I just feel inside. Like I'm a woman and having prison attached to me isn't very feminine. I also think because of the offence, and you know, my offence was a one-off fight. It wasn't planned. It really shouldn't have happened. I never wanted it to happen. Yeah. But I do have that violent offence attached to me, and I always will. So, and obviously all the stigma that comes with that. So I think yes, and especially when I tell a man. So that's just.
Is it?
Yeah.
Have you had a negative response?
No, not necessarily like a negative. Not that somebody's ever said to me, but it's just a feeling. It is just a feeling, and I don't like telling men that I've been to prison. Okay, it just doesn't sit womanly with me.
Yeah, but okay. So when you're telling them, what are the kind of responses you get then?
To be fair, I think it is very different now, and people are very different, and society is changed. So I don't get any like negative responses, and people are like inspired about the podcast and stuff like that when that comes up. And people, but you don't really know what's going on in their head.
True.
You have no idea. True. So yeah, I have to say, there's obviously a lot of positives as well when I do explain my journey and stuff like that. And I'm not embarrassed like that, but when I go to say it, there is that feeling there.
So how do you overcome it then? How do you get over that?
I mean, just be proud of who I am. And it is what it is. It's not going to change how I feel about myself. It's just in that moment when I go to do it.
That it just feels a bit okay. And then when you do it, you're fine, right?
I mean, yes. I don't know how they're really thinking, what they're really thinking. But yeah, of course.
But they don't ghost you or nothing.
It depends on what we're talking about. Yeah. Like, it's not about,
Like well, I'm talking in the context of dating.
In the context of dating, no.
Yeah, so then you're good.
But yeah, you just don't know what other people are thinking.
That's true.
So that's that. But it's really interesting. And to be fair, I'm wondering if other women feel like this too. So if you are listening and you are a woman, get in contact with us. Let us know if you have felt like this before with your sentence. Or if you've just got anything else you want to talk about around this subject, then please get in contact with us. You can do it by Instagram or X at After Prison Pod. TikTok is Life After Prison Pod. You can email us at podcast@prison.radio, or if you're inside, get in touch with us via NPR the normal way. We want to hear, especially me.
Yeah, I want to know, like, for the female perspective.
Is this just a woman thing?
Yeah, trust me.